Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. We're learning Igeres HaKodesh. We're in the middle of chapter 12. And the Alter Rebbe here explains the difference between the act of charity, which is called Maaseh HaTzedakah, in comparison to Avodas HaTzedakah, the activity, the work, the job of tzedakah. And he does so because the verse refers to charity with these two adjectives, or nouns, whatever. Be that as it may, this isn't a course in English grammar. The Alter Rebbe opens it up. As we know, his style throughout the Holy Book of Tanya is to analyze accepted facts that we have accepted since our childhood and youthhood. Charity, be righteous, be holy. He asks, what is charity? What is righteousness? What is holiness? And he really dissects it. And if you had to say, the Tanya is a study, I've said this many times, it's a study of divinity, of godliness. In what manner? In an analytical manner. Dissecting everything, splitting hairs, opening up, not for the purpose of ethereal and esoteric walkaways, but rather a practical application in our life. And the whole trick, the whole purpose is to be holy as you could be, to be godly as you could be on earth. Because God put us on earth, Moshe. The angels, he left in the celestial beings with souls and realms and all that. He took us, he put us into a body. We're here for a certain amount of time and we have a job. And we need to remember this every day, in every moment, but at least every day. There's no time to waste. There's no time to waste. We have a mission, and we need to accomplish with joy and happiness and kindness and friendship and what people call fun, whatever. But you have a mission. And if you don't feel you're fulfilling your mission, find out what your mission is, try to at least, and then fulfill that mission. Lucky are those people who a soul geologist, i.e. a tzaddik, a holy righteous man, like a rebbe, tells them, your mission is to do this and this, and over here and over here. Like the famous story that's online on the Gem videos already with a rabbi who was a Chabad rabbi in the Golan Heights. Rabbi Haber, I think is his name. And he wasn't Chabad, and he had just married, and was planning on being a chaplain somewhere local in the United States. And the Rebbe suggested that he be a chaplain overseas, I think in Guam or Japan, somewhere out there. No, I'm sorry, in Alaska. Although, later he went to Alaska, or maybe, whatever, somewhere. Maybe it was in Alaska, but it wasn't, in Chicago or the East Coast or Los Angeles. And only later did he realize why he was there. He, even not being a chassid of the Rebbe at the time, decided to listen. And not only did he listen, but he convinced his wife. Or maybe she convinced him, I don't know. But they decided to go. And in hindsight, he turns around 30 years later when he retires and he says, now I see why I was there. Now it's time to give back in a rabbinic way. Becomes a rabbi. He's in the Golan Heights helping Yidden. The Alter Rebbe in Tanya does the same thing. But he does it through the study. You understand? He does it through the philosophy of what is this Chabad and what does Hashem want. But the end result is the same. Do your mission, don't waste time, and be focused. So let's go now to chapter 12 on page Kuf Yud Ches. This is where we're at. And we are after the period. It's about 12 lines from the top, 10 to 12 lines. The last word before the period is Mahalaloi. It's the last word on the line Pirush. The Alter Rebbe says here that in order to accomplish the act of tzedakah, having it become personal, and to accomplish that your urges that are unhealthy are removed, are annulled, the Alter Rebbe says you need to draw down a higher energy. You can't just draw down the norm. You know why? Because the norm is, we try it one day, we try it another time, we succeed, we don't succeed. If you want to block it out and eliminate it permanently, you need an or shalamayla mishtalshulos, which is called a transcendent energy that transcends the norm, the progression, the regular stuff. And he quotes, the Gemara says that this Rabbi Lazar, would give charity. He would look for a poor person before he prayed, before he davened, to give tzedakah. Meaning it caused him a delay in his prayer. Why did he do that? It's time to go to shul. I cannot begin praying, Moshe, until I find someone to do kindness with, to give tzedakah to. Right? Why? Because he wanted that his tefillah, Menashe, he wanted that his prayers, he wanted that his davening should accomplish the annulment of the urges, at least temporarily during his prayer and all that. So he needed to draw down something that's greater than himself. When you give to someone else, it's greater than yourself. And you're giving away what you own, your money, your hard work, your time, right? Moshe was involved last week with helping distribute food for Thanksgiving and things like that. I assume to people who don't have, right? He didn't have to get up early to do that. In fact, he missed the shir, he told me, because of that. Okay. Now, he did an act of kindness, of chesed. That breaks the barrier. Because when you give away of yourself to someone else, there's nothing greater than that. Nothing. Because what does it show? It shows you're not selfish. You're selfless. You get up early. Someone breaks down the highway. It's 95 degrees on Route 1 in Eretz Yisrael, right? You get out of your car. You're schwitzing. It's hot. And you help them change the tire. You did it for someone else. So this idea is why Rebbe Lazar Yoyev Pruter Leoni V'hodor Matzle. He first gave a penny to a poor person. He gave some coins to a poor person, and only afterwards did he pray. He wanted his prayer to be predicated on charity, on tzedakah. And this also explains the last part of the verse. It says, Lefi v'ish lefi mahalaloi. And man, based on his praise to God. What's the connection between, it says, mitzaref lekesef v'kur lezov, the refinement of silver and refinement of gold, and man based on his prayer? Like it's a very enigmatic sentence, verse. Says the Alter Rebbe Pirush. Now let's go to Pirush. Pirush. Lefi hilulis Hashem, based on one's praise of God. B'yoyim kadas, with the depth of knowledge. Lahoylet chilu l'chimu. Dalet vav reish is an acronym for tichilu, which means fear or yira, v'rechimu, and love. That's the Aramaic word for ava, for love. To give birth, to have the offspring be, the result be a awe and love for God. Kocha nivarer, this is the way you refine hatoiv, the good. V'nifrid hara, and it separates itself from the bad. Kibiru pirud, It is similar. It's analogous to the separation of sigim mikesef, the excrement, in this case, different type of excrement. The in silver, there's the pure silver, and there's the no good part. It's called the sigim. V'zahav b'mitzaref kur, and the same with gold. Those that are jewelers would know this. There is pure gold, and there's then bad stuff you have to take out. Menashe, the good silver and gold from its chaff, right? Whatever the chaff is for it. So how do we do that? Ish lefi hilul lefi ish, based on your davening, based on your prayers. The more you daven, the more you pray, the more you delve deeply into contemplating godliness, so that your davening, your prayer isn't about I need this and I need that and my grandkids need that. Davening is about separating yourself from the world for that time while you pray to be only with God. It's known, I mentioned this yesterday, Moshe, that Jews by nature, Hem Rachmonim, they're merciful. V'goyim lechasodim, benevolent. Those are the 2 out of the 3 qualities. The third one is bashfulness. By shonim, he doesn't mention it here. Why are Jews by nature this way? It's because their souls come from God's attributes, asher chesed gover behen, in which kindness dominates within them, al midas adin, over judgment, v'hagvura, and strictness, v'hatzimtzum, and contraction. In other words, being that our faculties our souls come from Hashem, from God who gave us the soul, Hashem who's kind and overpowers strictness and judgment and all of that, we have that as well within ourselves. That's why the Gemara says, Yisrael, Rachmanim, Goyim Chasadim, and Baishanim. When you learn the Gemara, it says by nature. What are we, God's gift to mankind? Why do we get this? Why, Moshe? Yes, Hillel.
Just wondering, as you were saying that sort of those three qualities, and there's a lot of Hasidus on this week's parsha that Yaakov saw the 3 camels, and they referred to they were a symbol of the 3 avos. I wonder if we think of these qualities, if there's any source for thinking of those qualities as descended from specific avos.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't recall. I'll have to look into it over Shabbos. So thank you for bringing it to my attention. Ukameshikosov, as it says, Govar Chazdoi, God's benevolence overpowers Al Yireyav, over those who fear him. Shalachei Nikras Aneshama. That's why the soul is called, look at this, Chevra, pay attention, Bas Kohen, the daughter of the priest, the Jewish priest called the Kohen. Kameshikosov B'Zohar HaKodesh. Why? What does a Kohen represent in Kabbalah? Isser, did you learn this? Kohen. Kohen is Chesed. Levi is Gevura. Did you know that? So Bas Kohen is the daughter of Kohen, meaning the result of Chesed. What's the result of Chesed? Overpowering Gevura. V'hinei hatzedakah hanimsheches mibchina zu. So when tzedakah comes from this level, nikra b'shem ma'isa tzedakah, then it's called the act of tzedakah. Kishem ma'isa, because the word, the name act, ma'isa, noifel al davar shekvar nase. It means something that was already done. It happened already. or shenasa tamid, or it's happening constantly, memela, automatically. V'hu davar hahoive v'rogel tamid, and it's something that's present and constant. So for Afkan here too, haremidas hachesed v'harachmonis, the attribute of kindness and mercy, hutba b'nefoshes, has been planted within the souls of Kol Beis Yisrael, of all Jewish people, mikvar, from the past, mi'eis priyosam, from the time when they were created, v'hishtal shalusam imidoisav yizborach, and as they progress from God, k'mosh kosov, as it says, vayipach bi'apov, and God blew within the nostrils of man, of Adam, a soul. And it says, V'ata nafachta bi, and you blew with the soul within me. Number 3, Uman de nafach, and the one who blows, who exhales, mitoicha yenofov, he exhales from inside. He inhales and then he exhales. So what does it show? It shows that the chesed, that the soul, that the Gemara says that every Jew possesses these natural traits. It comes from Hashem, who instilled within a Jew this neshama. And this neshama comes just like the breathing compared to speaking. When you breathe, you get tired quickly. When you speak, you can speak endlessly. Why is that? Because breathing comes from the depth, i.e. it comes from God's depth, in comparison to speaking. Begam b'chol yom v'yoim, is so too every day, b'tuvei mechadosh, Hashem, with his goodness, he creates. Ma'aseh bereishis, the act of creation. V'chadoshim libikorim. Chadoshim libikorim means, and there is newness, something new, libikorim, to boker, to the mornings, to the new experience. In other words, it's a chidush. What does it mean, it's a chidush? Wait a minute. If you say that the neshama has the koyach of chesed within it, because Hashem gave it to the Jews, hutba, he implanted in us. What's the chiddush? The chiddush is its manifestation, and that every moment of its manifestation, the realization is that it comes from the essence. So the chiddush is in the manifestation, not in its inherent core, that it's godly, it's God, it's Hashem. So that's why it says Ma'aseh tzedakah. You see the connection to what he said before. Ma'aseh means something that either happened in the past or is happening now. It's a constant. It's a constant. This idea of this act of tzedakah, Ma'aseh tzedakah, is a constant. Because God gave it to us by giving us the neshama. Let's continue. Here begins the Alter Rebbe's now insight into the second part of the verse, avodas hatzedakah. Look inside. Achlosh and avodah, the term used in this latter half of the pasuk. The activity of tzedakah, not the act of tzedakah, but the job of tzedakah, the avodah, eina neifel. Please turn the page, top of 236. Eina neifel el al davar sha'adam ma'aseh bi'yagi atzum. It refers to something that someone does only with much effort. Neged teva nafshay, contrary to his nature. Rak shemevatel tivoi v'ritzaynei. The person exerts themselves to annul, to subjugate their nature and their will for the God's will. Kigoin, for example, to exert yourself in the study of Torah and in prayer to the expiration of the soul. Have we ever seen someone learn with so much koyach, or daven with so much intense feelings, that they have mitzui hanefesh? You know what mitzui hanefesh is? Fainting. So you might say, well, someone who doesn't eat and sleep will faint. That's true. But most people don't. The point being, This is a tall order. But the Alter Rebbe, he gives us tall orders. You know, if he ain't going to give us the tall orders, who's going to give us tall orders? The Alter Rebbe gives us a tall order. Av mitzvah nefesh. Right? Menashe. Someone will say, I daven and I learn and I get up early. But mitzvah nefesh, mitzvah nefesh means expiration of soul. You learn so much where you just can't move anymore. And you'll say, well, is that the kavanah? The kavanah is that, of course, you should stay healthy, but nevertheless, exert yourself. You know, when you go on a treadmill, we have the doctor here. You go on a treadmill, you do something, right? What do they tell you? It's good, but really, you got to work up a sweat. Mark, you got to work up a sweat, Moshe. You don't work up a sweat, goodness, okay, it's better than nothing. But I know this from the pool, from my swimming. I swim till I can't anymore. To knock myself out, and then I know, I probably lost a pound. So, the Nakuda is mitzvah nefesh. Now, the Rebbe says here, avodas hatzedakah. You hear this, Hillel? The avodah of tzedakah is a whole different category of tzedakah. Ma'aseh tzedakah is very important and very good, but it's within nature. We have a natural tendency to be kind, give tzedakah. Avodas tzedakah is, I don't want to give. It's hard for me to give. I have to exert myself. And it's uncomfortable. And I break through. That's Avodas tzedakah. Let's continue. But you see, here too, regarding the mitzvah tzedakah, this means to give tzedakah way beyond the nature of your compassion and your will. As the Razal say, nosin titen. The Torah says, give, you shall give. Say Chazal, afilu me'eya pa'amim, even 100 times. I gave already. I gave at the office. I gave this meshulach. They're knocking on my doors. They come. I gave already. Nosan titein afilu me'eya pa'amim. You understand? Me'eya pa'amim representing the 10 koiches, 10 times 10. In other words, I've given tzedakah here and there, and I refined it. Nosan titein afilu me'eya pa'amim. Because of, and this is the meaning of the verse.
About that,
what?
So I want to ask a question about that Lamaisa.
Yeah.
So we get Baruch Hashem a lot of Mishulachim that come around the shul at HaKodesh, and so it occurs to me as we're saying this. So if I meet a Mishulach and I already gave to them, I say to them, I already gave to them. I'm wondering here if the Baal Tanya is suggesting that because this is a bechina of Nasan Titein, I should davka, if he comes back to me, should give him a second time. I wonder what people do.
If it's uncomfortable for you to give him a second time, he's telling you to do it.
All right. That's a good
and Hillel, the way to do it, I mean, is you have a lot of change or whatever, and I mean, I look at the Rebbe. The Rebbe gave out, even just in public, he didn't ask, did you get it ready? I mean to say, not when he gave out dollars to distribute, but people never asked, and I saw Rabbi Reichel over Sholem, So again, I'm not saying, in other words, like this. If you give a meshulach or someone a nice amount the first time, and the second time, don't give him a little less. You understand? But nosan titain, yeah, no question about it. If you want to call a spade a spade,
I think that'll be a challenging avoda for me.
Okay, listen. That's why we're learning it. So that's why you're learning it, Tanya. Good. So you know what a Yarvoida is. You're a lucky man. Let's go further. What? Isra, what?
I'm saying it was a challenging avoda for me as an Ola who was taking buses, who didn't think he could afford a car. When I saw these Meshulachim driving cars, and I said to myself, heck, they're going around collecting shekel here, shekel there, every morning for years and years. If they can afford a car, certainly I can.
Yeah, listen,
So Hillel, you keep giving. I'll give to the organizations.
okay, let's go weiter.
I'll be in charge of the individuals, you be in charge of the organization.
Right. And this is the meaning in the verse. And this shall be the activity of tzedakah, that even the first level of tzedakah, that's called with the name, it's called in the verse with the name, the act, the maisa, and it's not called with the second word in the pasuk avodah, afal pk, nevertheless, bisarusa deletata, with the arousal from below, isarusa deleela, we arouse from heaven, you arouse the revelation of the infinite God, in a most abundant emanation, and a mighty effluence, it makes peace in heaven. And even here below, it makes peace. However, Lo yizgale hasholem. Okay. We have three things, chavre. We have oisa sholem b'meromov in heaven. Then we have palmalya shamayim. Palmalya shamata is a group below, but it doesn't mean a group below here, like Hillel said, practically, coming into shul. It means the counterpart spiritually to the supernal group. But when you talk about, so the first act of tzedakah accomplishes in the first two. In the heavens, shalom, oisa shalom bimraimov, Hashem makes peace spiritually between Michal and Gavriel, fire and nation, all of that. Then it even accomplishes a peace, the Chazal say, through Torah learning. It accomplishes a peace between the heavenly group and the lower group, but it doesn't yet reveal itself below. That's what he says. This physical world, Hashafel, the low world. This peacefulness and this refinement and this separation of bad from good won't be revealed at Eis Kates till the end of times when Mashiach comes. And not during the time of Golus. That is true in a cosmic way, in a macrocosm. But in a microcosm, this refers to man, every opportune time, i.e., this is prayer. I will seek you. I will see you, God, with righteousness. Canal. In davening, the Alter Rebbe says, this is his point, and we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. The Alter Rebbe says, in davening, in prayer, that's where you come face to face with reality. Like, you hear that? When you daven, when you pray, we think sometimes davening is talking about this and that, but no. The purpose of davening is to face reality. What am I doing about in reality? So Hillel, what you said before, may upon him, and part of the davening is after you understand. This would be his bonus, the meditation, according to Chabad. After you understand thoroughly the concepts over here, you meditate, you reflect on it. Then, in your mind, you say, so what am I doing about it? So that's where your davening becomes part of bringing down these ideas in a practical way. Have a great day. We'll see everyone tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shalom. Bye-bye.